Well, this to me so far, this is the I would say this is the biggest one of this year for me because yeah, we lost a lot of good actors, some more good actors this year. I mean, earlier we lost like some people like John Ashton or recently Ozzy Osbourne, right? But of course, among other actors that passed away this year as well, though. But this one, this is one I would say this one probably so far is the most saddening to me for so far this year because we just lost an A list. I would say an A list actor who started a lot of good films from for the number of decades, and so yeah, so we just sad to say we lost actor Robert Redford. Yep, actor Robert Redford. I enjoy Robert Redford as an actor. Phenomenal actor. My dad enjoyed him and my mom enjoyed him. Now, of course, disagree on his no political views aside. I don't talk about that. Okay, I don't care if he was Democrat. It was Democratic. I don't care about that. As an actor, I enjoyed him because he was good in a pretty good films. I have a couple films right here which I enjoyed him in. This is one of my favorites of his that I enjoyed. This was a good film. All the President's Men, with him and Dustin Hoffman. I enjoyed this film. I thought this was a pretty good a pretty good film. A good like what I say, a detective story of the you know. So these two did well together. Dustin Hoffman did a good job as well. He had appearances from the late Hal Holbrook, and Jack Warren's in this. This was a good film. This is one of my favorites of Robert Redford's. This one here, this is another good film. This was from 2013. This one got a lot of praise for. All Is Lost. He should got an Oscar now. He should have got an Oscar for this film. I think he did. He didn't get. I don't think he got no nominations. Well, it says here on the back here, winner for Best Actor, New York Film Critics Circle, but he didn't get no Oscar nomination or Golden Globe. I don't think so. Because this one got a lot of praise for this one here, a masterpiece, a triumphant, amazing, 4 stars. More on the back here. Director J.C. Chandor's film is a tour de force of acting and filmmaking, gripping and adventurous. Sorry. Grade A. Redford's performance is powerful, dazzling, cinema at its purest. Redford is triumphant, or in this on top here, this is the ultimate Redford. No Oscar nomination for this. Just shows how much more of the Oscars are much more of a piece of shit nowadays. But I enjoy All Is Lost. I enjoy the film. Just him isolated from the middle of the ocean, battling the stormy seas. Well, I would probably say I like this better than The Perfect Storm, I would say. I mean, Mark Wahlberg, George Clooney, yeah, but I think I like this better than The Perfect Storm. But All Is Lost is a good movie. All the President's Men. Of course, several other films that he got that everyone knows him for. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, The Sting, which he was nominated for Best Actor, but he didn't win. The Sting, also with Paul Newman. They were both together in the Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid, so also in The Sting. The other films that other good films he starred. I mean, let's see here. Yeah, I have the list right here. Jeremiah Johnson. That was a film that my uncle enjoyed. My dad too, which my dad said he would never watch the film again because it was said it was such a depressing movie. Jeremiah Johnson. That's what my dad said. He said he wouldn't watch that film again because it's so depressing. I have not seen it myself though, so. My mom, he enjoyed him in The Way We Were, and the both those films, Jeremiah Johnson, The Way We Were, they were directed by Sidney Pollack, which you go on to do Redford and a couple more of his other films, including The Electric Horseman, Out of Africa. That was with him and Meryl Streep. Havana. I think that was the last one he did with him. So, yeah. So director Sidney Pollack he also did him in 3 Days of the Condor. That's another one. So he used Robert Redford pretty decently in his films. So the Great Gatsby, that's the '74 film. I think that's the original Great Gatsby movie. Because I know there was a 2013 remake with DiCaprio. So All the President's Men, yeah, which I said. The Great Waldo Pepper, The Candidate. Yeah, The Natural. That my dad said that was pretty much his favorite film with Robert Redford. That was the baseball movie. The Natural. Legal Eagles. That was one he did. That was directed by the late Ivan Reitman. Sneakers. Indecent Proposal. That was one with Demi Moore and Woody Harrelson. The Horse Whisperer, which he directed that movie. I'll get to the films that he directed in a second, though. The Last Castle, Spy Game, that was with him and Brad Pitt, directed by the late Tony Scott. I gotta rewatch that film again because like I said, I love Tony Scott more than actually his brother Ridley Scott, though. But because I just like Tony Scott's style. Like I said, I love Last Boy Scout. I love Beverly Hills Cop 2. I enjoy Top Gun. So yeah, but I have to watch the Spy Game again because that's one of the films. That's one of the other Tony Scott films I have not watched that most, because I've watched pretty much a lot of Tony Scott films, like except for Spy Game, which I also have to rewatch again. But Brad Pitt and Robert Redford are in it. Going on. Of course, mention this because I'll have this one because Captain America: The Winter Soldier, of course. This is when I put this one because also this is my favorite. This is my favorite of the MCU franchise. Yeah, I would say this is my favorite of the MCU. I would say it's a good political thriller. You can say in the vein of, like Clear and Present Danger or Patriot Games with Harrison Ford. Or probably say All the President's Men too, though. So, but yeah, I enjoy Captain America: The Winter Soldier. But yeah, Robert Redford right there as Alexander Pierce, and which of course the last thing he did was when he cameoed in Avengers Endgame when they traveled back to the 2012 timeline during the attack on New York, and he had a cameo appearance in there. So that was pretty much like the last thing he did before he retired. And then there was a film he did with Nick Nolte, A Walk in the Woods. Then there was the 2016 remake of Pete's Dragon. So then talk about the films that he directed. Ordinary People, that was his debut, which won 4 Oscars, including for Best Picture, and he won for Best Director in that movie. Ordinary People. Then he directed the Milagro Beanfield War, A River Runs Through It, Quiz Show, The Horse Whisperer, which I've seen. I think that was with Matt Damon. I think it was The Horse Whisperer. The Legend of Bagger Vance, that was the sports film with Will Smith. Lions for Lambs, which he did also with Meryl Streep and Tom Cruise was in it. The Conspirator, and then The Company You Keep. I think that was pretty much like that was like the last full length film that he directed. 2014 he directed a part of a segment of a documentary, which I have not heard or seen though. But as for full length feature film, The Company You Keep was the last one he directed. That was in 2012. So yeah, he's a very capable director. But acting wise, I've enjoyed Robert Redford. Like I said, he was a phenomenal actor, and I'll say he was um I would say as an A-list actor. The Old Man with a Gun in 2018, that was his final starring role in the lead. Like Avengers Endgame was like the last on-screen film appearance he did, but Old Man with a Gun the year before, that was the last one he did where he was the lead in the movie. And then 2012 was The Company You Keep, was the last full-length film that he directed as well. So yeah, just damn shame, I enjoy Robert Redford. It's a damn shame. I was like we lost another fun, I would say a phenomenal actor, and let alone I would say an A-list actor. I would say The Natural, of the other films. Like I said, my dad enjoys The Natural. I enjoy All the President's Men, All Is Lost. Like I said, I think he should have got an Oscar nominated for this film. But like I said, it just shows once again that the Oscars are just full of shit. But for Golden Globes though, I mean, yeah, yes. Here's it. He never won. He never won for best. He never won an Oscar for best actor. He was nominated for The Sting, but he never won though. He did win for best director for Ordinary People, the Oscar for that film. That's pretty much the only Oscar he won. But he was nominated for best picture and best director for Quiz Show. And then in 2001, he did receive the Academy Honorary Award, so he was honored in that, though. But he only won one Oscar, and that was for Best Director for Ordinary People. He never won a Best Actor, either. He was nominated, but he never won. Like I said, he should have got an Oscar for this film. I would say so. But, yeah. But he did receive some Golden Globe Awards. He did win for Best Director for Ordinary People. He did receive a new Star of the Year for Inside Daisy Clover. And then 74, 76, and 77, he did win, like, World Film Favorite Actor 3 times. So. But, yeah, he did have a BAFTA award for Best Actor, Leading Actor in the Leading Role for Butch Cassidy, the Sundance Kid. But just no Best Actor Oscar wins. But yeah, it's a damn shame though. Like, I think Robert Redford should deserve more, recollection, more. Well, in my opinion, but you can't just do that now. So, but yeah, Robert Redford, great actor, a good director. It's a damn shame, So. I know, so I always keep repeating myself, it sounds repetitive, saying, oh, that's how life is, though, but it's actors that you grew up with, it's always such a blowback to you, But, things like, I didn't grow up with Robert Redford, though, I just, later in life, I watched the more I watched more of his films, I just knows that he was such a A-list director, a phenomenal actor. So, but rest in peace to Robert Redford. Like I said, great actor, an A-list actor, I would say. But I think that's the one that pisses me off. I think he should have got an Oscar for this film. That's all. He should have, because this is a good film. But like I said, he was good. He was a good villain. He was a good villain in Captain America: The Winter Soldier. And this is one of my favorites of his. I enjoy All the President's Men. But, of course, I like him in other films as well, though. But this, I would say, this is pretty much one of my favorites of his. Of course, he was also in the war film A Bridge Too Far. I forgot that one. A Bridge Too Far with him and... hold on a second. I have it right here. Give me a second here. Yeah, here we go. It's at the very bottom right here. Of course, it has to be on the bottom. Put this back, but don't let it fall. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. A bridge too far. Yeah, with him, Sean Connery and Anthony Hopkins, James Caan, and Michael Caine. So another war film with another A-list top cast right here. I mean, now basically, well, actually Ryan O'Neal too, because my dad remembers Ryan O'Neal from when he started the TV show Bones. So basically, 4 of the 6 cast members here are now gone now. Sean Connery, Robert Redford, Ryan O'Neal, and James Caan. So yeah, Michael Caine, Michael Caine, he's in his 90s now, so I wouldn't be surprised when I hear of him passing away, because Michael Caine, he's in his 90s now. Jeez. And Anthony Hopkins, he's up there too. It's probably in his late 80s, close to being 90 as well. But yeah, this is another good war film. This is another one my dad likes too, A Bridge Too Far. Robert Redford, Anthony Hopkins, Michael Caine, James Caan, Ryan O'Neal, and Sean Connery. So yeah. So yep. So let's say rest in peace, Robert Redford. I'm holding this one up because this is where it has his picture right here. So rest in peace to Robert Redford. Will be missed. Like I said, we lost an A-list actor today. Of course, I mean Gene Hackman. That was well, that was something because he was in his 90s too. Gene Hackman. But what happened the aftermath of his death? That was just like kind of weird though. But among other actors too that passed away this year as well. So like I said, John Ashton, Gene Hackman, Joan Plowright, Ozzy Osbourne, Hulk Hogan. That's another way. Yeah, Hulk Hogan. That was unexpected. So yeah. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video. And like I said, rest in peace, Robert Redford. Phenomenal actor. Later.